direction. And there's 4 directions, right? If it's on the side plane, your 4 directions are overhand, underhand, side opposite right, where the right hand's overhand, and the left hand is underhand, and then side opposite left. But then on the front plane, the 4 directions are clockwise, it's clockwise to me, counter to you, counterclockwise to me, clockwise to you, underhand opposite, which people call underhand, but I distinguish underhand opposite as being a front plane or back plane move versus just plain underhand, I would say, on the side plane. So inherent in the direction is the implication of the plane, if that makes sense. And then overhand opposite or inward. So any place I use inward or overhand opposite, it's this, like an overhand butterfly. But the butterfly is the move. The direction is, people lazily call it overhand, even though it's overhand opposite, because while they're both overhand, this is both overhand the same, because they're both on the side plane. Is that in general, the criteria that you're going to use when you're classifying a move are the move type, right? So weaves, that's pretty basic. I mean, the things that you addressed in your beginner class were reels down here, up here. These are all reels. Like chasing the sun, that's just a bunch of reels. Pinwheel, corkscrew, these are all reels. Hip reel. Even if you're doing some crazy wackadoodle timing where you're doing polyrhythmic like this, it doesn't change the fact that the move is a reel. It changes the implementation of it by changing the timing of it, right? So same time versus split time versus polyrhythmic doesn't change the type of move, nor does it change the direction. It just changes the timing aspect, which is another element. So it's the move type, the location, meaning the planes that you do it on, side, front, back, floor, ceiling. Those are your 6 main planes. Then especially with things like flowers, the location on that plane. So for example, you could be doing a corkscrew, that's a regular corkscrew, which uses the inside and outside plane, so it uses the bottom and top, but you could be doing it as an inside plane move. So the location here would be inside plane, because it's never leaving the frame of your body. Or with a flower, it could be things like this. Oh, it's a horizontal flower, a horizontal 2-petal flower. Or you could be working on a 4-petal flower in anti-spin, where you're doing it like this. This is called diamond mode, because if you look at where the position of the center of the flowers are, it forms a diamond, versus box mode, which uses 30, 10, 30, 130, 430, 730, 10, 30, 130, 430, 730, 10, 30, 130, versus 12, 3, 6, 9. 12, 3, 6, 9. The elements are the type of move, the direction of the move, the plane of the move, the timing of the move. And so you could take a simple move like just a pinwheel. Okay, so this is a pinwheel, but this is a pinwheel, but this is a pinwheel, but this is a pinwheel. That's all, but that's 4 pinwheels with 2 different timings, because I did same time for these guys, and then I did split time for these guys. But you could do together time for these guys, where they're both on the front and both on the back, both on the front and both on the back. So the timing changes. It's a modifier of the move itself. So it's like if you have a triangle, you could have an equilateral triangle, you could have an isosceles triangle, you could have a right triangle. These are just, the timing would be a modifier of the move. Timing and direction, both of those. And even plane, I guess. Although some moves are defined by the plane. Like a corkscrew is a reel, but not all reels are corkscrew. A corkscrew is working with a horizontal plane. So some moves, the plane itself is part of the description of the move, like a sprinkler. That's part of the description of the move. It's a horizontal C cap, basically. That's what's actually happening technically. But it's called a sprinkler because of the effect of the visual. No, sorry. Like back when we were kids, they had those sprinklers that did that. I feel like the way your arms are positioned look like a sprinkler head, which describes the kinesthetic of how the body is moving.